Nice to see you again. Although obviously I cannot see you, but you can see me. And I'm thankful for that because you have options. You don't have to be here, but you chose to click and to look at me and to listen to me. So I am forever grateful to you, my viewer, to you, my subscribers, to you, the PACT Nation. Without you, I am not here. So thank you so much. Now, additionally, this is for anyone else who wants to do more. You have options to support the channel outside of the super thanks and the super likes. In the description below, there are multiple ways you can support me, but there's also a personal support link that will lead you to buy me a coffee. It does wonders, it does help, but understand that you do not have to. By you just watching the entire video from start to finish, pressing like and sharing, it does amazing things for my channel. So regardless, you win. Chandler Halderson, a monster. Oh my God. Okay, you guys voted on this in the Livingston poll and he won, and I was going to come out with the story on Friday. However, when I skimmed through a little synopsis of this man's story, too big to start this on Friday. So I was like, you know what, I better get on this early because this is going to be a long ride. Okay, and I understand I'm behind, right? I just found out about this guy, but this case started in January, like a long time ago, right? So obviously I am behind, but we're going to dissect this together. And obviously, as you know, I suspect this is a narcissist, full-blown, full-fledged, with criminality tagged all over his face. Okay? Now, for those who are new here, I am Alistair Nzekio, and this is my point of view. Okay, let's get some of the basics. I know you guys know this, but this is for people who don't know, all right? Now, he's a young man in his 20s, and by the way, in my quick investigation, it wasn't very common. Someone said he was cute. Let me tell you something right now, okay? Nothing cute about this guy, all right? What? A full-blown murderer? That's not cute. Anyway, I dissect. I digress. I dissect. Wrong word, wrong time, just wrong. His parents are named Bart and Krista. He killed them. He chopped them up. He has an older brother named Mitchell. Now, the reason why the older brother made into this notes is because the older brother is also a victim. I mean, Chandler ripped his parents away from his older brother. I consider him a full-blown victim. Oh, yes, absolument. Okay? Now, from my very simple investigation, and I didn't want to do too much because I wanted to be just as surprised. I wanted to be authentic. I just read a quick synopsis here and there. I put together some notes, and I didn't want to dive too much into the details. Okay? Now, apparently, this man, Chandler, a big liar, and he has a girlfriend. I get to her a little bit. Liar. Now, it's one thing to be a liar. It's one thing to be a full-blown liar. It's another thing to be a full-blown liar with scissors cutting up people. He didn't do it with scissors. But you understand what I'm trying to say. So apparently, according to Chandler, he had this full-blown image of this intellectual, smart college student who is going for an IT degree with promises of an internship in an insurance company and a job lineup with SpaceX, with Elon Musk. If you like Elon Musk, I'm not judging. I'm not judging. I think it's great. Can you just tell him to shut up? Let's listen to this, because when I gathered all of this information, the thing that struck to me the most, and guys, you know, from the Darrowbrook case, the Sarah Boone case, you know I'm sensitive to narcissist story spinning, right? And the thing that just irks me about this guy, the extent of his lies. Guys, this is story spinning. This is gaslighting on another level. This is gaslighting on a level that's a little bit very uncomfortable, because this is his parents. This is his skin. This is, according to what I could find very briefly, loving parents. I don't think he's a psychopath. I don't think, I told you I've been around psychopath. I don't think he's a psychopath. Psychopath don't respond like me and you, okay? Psychopath really don't give a F. They don't give a F. Oh, you're gonna arrest me? Okay. All right. Okay. Like, psychopaths don't give a F at all. No, he's not. He's either a very perturbed, lost, highly insecure man, a narcissist, or he's a narcissist. Listen, let's jump right into it, okay? Because this is very long and I don't want to take too much of your time. So did I lay out the premise for you? For those who don't know what's going on? Long story short, Chandler Halderson murdered his parents, chopped them up into multiple pieces because they were about to find out the truth about all of his lies. So the solution for him, instead of sucking it up and be like, sorry mom, sorry dad, okay, no, he killed them, cut them up, and threw them around, scattered them around like a scavenger hunt, and then acting like nothing happened. Like, what do you think is gonna happen, Chandler? His name is very hard to pronounce. I've Chandler Halderson. My tongue is working overdrive trying to pronounce his name. It's a little bit irritating because I don't even want to give him the benefit of that respect, but I have to for the sake that I'm talking to you, right? Chandler Halderson. All right, let's get to it. So listen to this prosecution, the opening statement. We're going to dissect this, and he's going to tell us a little bit more of the story as to why all this mess happened, okay?
Bart and Krista Halderson, you've heard their names mentioned numerous times by the judges here. That's Bart and Krista Halderson. I'm going to try to use some photos as I talk to maybe guide us along. Some people are more visual learners, some aren't.
Look how nice of a couple they are. Look at that. And look, I know some of you are parents. You know how hard it is to raise a kid. Oh, you know how hard it is to raise a child just to be chopped up by him. What? Get out of here. I'm coming off the grave and smacking you in the face. Are you serious? Oh, mom and dad, you've worked so hard just to be deceived by this monster.
That's Bart and Krista Halderson, couple in their early 50s, living in Windsor, Wisconsin, on a quiet street, in a quiet house, kind of in a quiet town. If you don't know Windsor, think just south of DeForest, or maybe if you're heading up toward the Dells, when you see the Fleet Farm on your left, if you looked right, that's Windsor. That's the Halderson home. At this point, perhaps it would be best if I told you a little bit about the Halderson family. Bart, the father, Krista, the mother. They have two sons, Chandler, the defendant, and his older brother, Mitchell. Chandler and Mitchell are close in age, but Mitchell's a little bit older. The time this all happened, living in the Halderson home, was Bart Halderson, Krista Halderson, and Chandler. Mitchell had moved out. Mitchell had a job working as an IT person for a local corporation, doing pretty well in life. He's engaged, doing pretty well in life. Buying a house, adult things, growing up. But in July of 2021, it's Bart and Krista living in that house and their adult 23-year-old son, Chandler Halderson, living in his room. Now, all of the events I'm going to describe, for the most part, take place during the first week.
The prosecution was being shady, okay? Living in his room. Prosecutor, we understood exactly where you're going with that, right? The brother is amazing. The brother is doing all these great things, but Chandler is living in his room. I can tell you right now, I have an inclination as to where he's going with that. It's a prosecution, right? He has to prove intent. But I can tell you right now, because based on these notes that I found, look, the brother, Mitchell, IT professional, okay? Chandler apparently lied about his IT degree and a promising internship at an insurance company. It seems to be very related to his brother's. Was Chandler jealous of his brother? Or did he feel super inadequate towards his brother? Could be. Siblings rivalry on another level.
On July 1st, 2021, somewhere between 3 p.m. and 5 p.m., Chandler Halderson murdered his parents. It's an important date, and it's an important time to remember. July 1st, between 3 and 5. But the story doesn't start there. And this trial wouldn't be 3 to 4 weeks if the trial ended there. The story starts a week later, on July 7th, 2021, nearly a week after killing his parents, but no one in the world knowing. Chandler Halderson walks into the Northeast Precinct of the Dane County Sheriff's Office and says, "I'd like to file a missing persons report." He sits down with sheriff's deputies.
Okay, yes. Obviously, this guy was guilty. Get out of here with that mess. Look, a week later, you go file for missing parents report. First of all, you know if he's leaving his room, his mom is cooking. You know the mom is cooking for him. The mom is like, "Hello, hey, come down your room. Did you do the dishes? You didn't do the dishes." And the dad is probably like, Chandler, did you get a job yet? Come on, you know these parents are probably talking to their son about parent stuff. Yeah, a week later after he committed the crime, that's when he went to the police station to report a problem. Criminals, you're not even that smart. But then again, that's pretty hard to get away with that, right? Officers, our parents are missing. Oh, really? Tell us more, right? It's literally super hard to get away with that. I totally understand why he waited 1 week. He's probably like, what am I going to say? What am I going to say? Wow.
You'll meet them today. And he gives a long story. My parents, they just haven't come back from the cabin. They were there this weekend. We have a cabin up north. It's in White Lake, up in Langlade County. It's pretty far up north, a couple of hours. They just haven't come back yet. They were going to come back Monday or Tuesday, and I don't know where they are. Who were they with? The deputies ask. I don't know. I helped them pack Thursday night. And they must have left Friday early before I woke up at 6. Who'd they go with? I don't know. Where are their cars? Well, they're still at the house. What'd you help them pack? Bottles of liquor, lots of money, tools, silver bars. Why were they going up there? Some people they were fixing a window. Some people there was a plumbing issue, storm damage. The story varied. Sometimes they took just money. Sometimes they took just liquor. But over that day and the next, talking to numerous sheriff's deputies, detectives, including those detectives, he gives this bizarre story of his parents leaving in an unknown car, going to a cabin with an unknown couple, with an unknown amount of money, for really an unknown reason.
So was Chandler just trying to... Wow, this is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. I'll tell you why it's a little bit crazy, right? Look, let me explain to you a little bit something, right? Because even if the cabin story was, let's just say, legit, how the hell did they get there? Right? Okay, so they used an unknown couple's car. What? Who's that couple? I don't know. What? I mean, already right off the bat, obviously, is complete bogus, complete buffoonery, right? This is the thing I have to say about some of those criminals. And that's why I said at the beginning, this is story spinning on another level that makes me very uncomfortable, because that's his parents he's talking about. And this is a blatantly, like a lie, not even trying to make sense of a truth. Okay, fine. Maybe you don't like your ex-boyfriend, your ex-girlfriend, and you maybe kill them, right? Like maybe, maybe. But these are your parents. How can you make such a comfortable lie like that? 7 days after you kill them. 7 days after you kill them. What? What?
So sheriff's deputies do what cops do, which is they ask him, have you heard from him?
Yeah.
And he says, yeah.
Oh.
I got a text from my mom.
Oh.
And he did. He showed him his phone. Made it safely. This is from Krista Halderson to Chaz. That's what his family calls him. Not Chandler, they call him Chaz. Made it safely. Can't get anything through, though. Yes, it's packed. Going to White Lake today for the parade. We'll be home Monday night, Tuesday early. I love you lots.
He did not murk his mom. Went through her purse. Okay, kitchen counter. Grabbed the phone. Texted himself that. Oh, my God. Okay, I take it back. He might be a psychopath. What? Psychopaths don't give a F. And this seems like he doesn't give a F. What? What? Made it safely, can't get anything through, and yes, it's packed. Look at that. Going to, White Lake today for the parade, and we'll be home Monday night and Tuesday early. Love you lots. What? This is premeditated beyond just premeditated. I mean, this is scary. This is why, this is story spinning on a level that makes my skin crawl. Because if he can do that to his parents, oh, honey, you are nothing.
So at this point, the sheriff's deputies don't know what they're dealing with. These folks get up there and decide, now we're going to go to the casino for a few days. We're going to play hooky. Didn't make a lot of sense. They started talking to coworkers and realized these people had never no-called, no-showed, missed work, which they both did on Friday.
And this is the thing, right? Look, everyone has a pattern of routines, right? This is why it's so hard to get away with murder these days. It's very hard to get away with murder because, someone is looking for you. This is what I say. I said to you a while ago that no matter how bad you feel, no matter how low you feel, no matter how big the depression is, someone wants you, someone likes you, someone depends on you. Your value, oh my God, these are very heavy steps, Chris. You are someone's ish. And if you can't draw the strength for yourself, draw the strength from anyone, even a pet, your dog, your pet, they need you. And this is why stories like this baffle me. And everybody knows that. Everybody knows that if you falsify a text message like this, that's easy to figure it out. Criminals, it's hard to kill someone and get away with it. I'm just letting you know. Just don't do it. Just go to the gym. Go for a run. Just don't do it. It's not worth it. You get caught. You will get caught. Look at that. This is uncomfortable. I didn't even go through. Look, this is only 8 minutes in and I'm already annoyed. That's his parents.
Did they crash their car? Did this other couple kidnap them? Where the hell are they? But what good police do, and what they did in this case, is they start looking into the people who saw them last, who were with them last, who reported them missing. And in this case, all three of those things, the person who purportedly saw them last, was with them last, and reported them missing were the same person. There's Chandler Halderson. So what the police did was started to look into Chandler Halderson. This is all occurring in the same 24-hour, 48-hour period. And what they learn about him isn't suspicious at all. He's a Madison College student, MATC. They go by Madison College now, if you didn't get the email. Madison College student. He's about to graduate. He's studying renewable resource engineering, kind of a hybrid IT degree with solar panels, things of that sort. He's about to get a certificate. But things had looked bright for him. He'd recently been working at American Family Insurance. He's working from home like most of us the last couple of years. But he's working a good job at American Family Insurance. And not only was he working a good job, Chandler had just gotten a better job. He got hired at SpaceX. He was about to embark on a career that people in the IT field could only dream of. He's planning to move to Titusville, Florida. That's where SpaceX operation is, down in Florida, with his girlfriend. They'd rented an apartment. They'd bought a car. And not only was this not someone who was antisocial, he was pro-social. He was working with the Madison Police and the Department of Natural Resources on their rescue diving team. He was a scuba diver, working with the police. The only thing that was a bit odd is he'd recently suffered a head injury. Fallen down the stairs, had terrible concussion, was unable to move for the most part, had to wear a neck brace. He was permanently, perhaps, injured. All of those things.
Because, a concussion can do a personality change if it's severe enough. It can. Oh, yes, it can. Ah, oui. Huh? What? On paper, Chandler looks like a nice guy.
And at that point, for all they knew, as sad as it is, Bart and Krista and an unknown couple were crashed into a ditch somewhere between here and White Lake, Wisconsin, dead from a car crash. So they started looking. Deputies are sent up north. The Langlade County Sheriff's Department is searching a cabin. No one had ever been there. It didn't look like anyone had been there at all in years. It was run down. The grass hadn't been mowed. There was no food in the refrigerator. No one had been there. So the police expand their search, and they start talking to not only just Chandler, people about Chandler. They start talking to people who were with Chandler that weekend. Specifically, they talked to his girlfriend, a young girl named Catherine. She goes by Kat. And Kat says, I was with him like all weekend. We had a normal 4th of July weekend. We went out to my family's farm. We got a farm. There was a pool. We ate dinner. Chandler was having the concussion issue, and he couldn't really move his legs, and so he asked to use their pool the next day because he thought that was good therapy. So the police, what do they do next? They go talk to the person who owns the farm. And they say, was Chandler out here? And she goes, yeah, he was out here on the 4th of July. But you know what? He showed up the next day by himself. He showed up the next day by himself. I told him he could come back anytime, as we just say to people, not expecting they're going to roll into your house the next day.
Okay, I did that a lot. And you see, look, complete side note. So we have an open door policy here in my household. Open door to people we know, and look, all you got to do is send a text. As long as I'm expecting you, because I will call the cops. If I don't know who that is. I have cameras everywhere. If I see a car pulling up on the driveway, I'm like, who is that? 911. I'm calling. So send me a text so I know you're coming, and that's it. The house is big enough. Just come in and go in the corner and do what you got to do. Yes, absolutely. So it's funny he says that because I do extend that. I say, come anytime, and I mean that. And at the beginning of my friendships, people never really use that. And I say that a lot. Yeah, people say that not expecting people to use it. No, I use it. I have friends who come in here. They work from home and they get bored. They drive all the way here, and he sits his ass here and he does work. I come down, lunch is ready. You want to eat? Yeah, sure. Okay, come up and eat. That was useless. Okay, let's go.
She says he was acting bizarre. Said that he had a doctor's appointment and they'd given him some bad news that he was going to lose his job at SpaceX because he couldn't travel. He couldn't attend orientation to start. And she goes, he asked to use the pool. And of course I said yes. This woman will testify, and she'll tell you that she sat in her house for a while, perhaps a bit weirded out that someone had just shown up at her rural farm, but she let him have his space. But about an hour later, she goes down to the pool to check on him. He's not there. No one had opened the pool. No one had been in the pool. But she sees his car. And it's parked out in the field, away from the pool, backed in toward where that grass is a bit longer, and had its hatch up. She thought, boy, that was strange. But she thought maybe he's just on a walk. So she goes in the pool. She said, I'm just going to go in the pool. If you remember that weekend, it's extraordinarily hot. She starts swimming. She says, then I see Chandler. He's walking out of the woods in that area. Now, at this point in the investigation, the police are out there with this woman. They're out on the farm. And she says he walked out over there. And you'll hear from the detective, Detective Brett Baverstock, who was out there. And he'll tell you that his eyes kind of shifted up and he saw vultures. And I promise the photos are only going to go this far for right now. But the police walked about 20 yards into the woods. And in that pile of debris, under dozens of sticks, bushes, and dirt, they found Bart Halderson.
What? Chandler? Chandler? What the hell? What the hell is that? By the way, good job, vultures. Your eyesight is unmatched. What? You saw this from there up there? Listen. Listen. I don't even know where to start. Chandler kills his parents. Obviously chops him up because it's a dead body in the car, right? So obviously, look. Obviously, they chopped up the parents, the dad, that's Bart. Bart is a dad. Bart is a dad. Chopped him off, put it in the car, drive over to this, I'm going to call that person a stranger. Okay, no, it's not a stranger, but it's not related. It's someone not related to the family, and drops off the dead body in somebody else's property? What? As I'm telling you this, right, you know what goes through my mind? It's the entire process. Mom, Dad, hi. Chop, 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 chop. Pick up the arms, plastic bag. Head, plastic bag. Like, think about that process. Then you make a knot. You put it over your shoulder. Think about that. And in that, it's not like Legos and stuff. It's your parents. Okay, fine. You walk down the stairs, thump in the car, boom, boom, close the door, put the key in, drive all the way through someone else, and then thump, put it down there. Bye, Dad. That is beyond mental. Honestly, wow. Wow. That is scary. If Chandler can do that to his parents, we are nothing, okay? We are literally morsels. He will mow us down. Look what he did to his mom and dad. What's her name? Catherine? Oh, Catherine, you escaped. Now,
when I say they found Bart Halderson, I need to explain that. They found a human torso. Someone had crudely chopped off the head.
Okay, look. Listen. I swear, I'm discovering this for the first time. Okay, I knew he chopped them up, and that whole story I gave you about chop, chop, chop. It was just like in my head. Oh my God, it's a torso. So he cut off his head, hands, legs. Ouh, ouh. Mais c'est incroyable. Attends là, mais tu blagues. C'est complètement dingue. That's crazy. Completely crazy.
The arms and sawed off the legs in the middle of the thigh, leaving the underwear on.
What?
and the beginnings of the pants. They removed the sticks and brush over a course of a few hours. They brought out doctors from the medical examiner's office to make sure everything was done appropriately.
What?
They rolled the torso over. There were gunshots in the back. This man had been shot in the back and chopped up.
Oh, okay.
At this point, the farm, beautiful farm, cultivated for years with wildflowers, kind of an Eden of sorts, was turned into a crime scene.
Okay, so he shot them. All right. See, I told you, I was trying not to read. So he shot them. With what? Shotguns? I'm sure he'll tell us. He shot them. He shot them. He shot them. Shot him in the back and chop him up. Chop him up. What? Look, as a biologist, I can tell you this. Sewing a bone is not easy. Especially a thigh bone. This is not a chicken bone when you can snap. Do you know how much blood, how much fascia you have to go through? And the tibia and the femur is one of the strongest bones in your body. You have to saw, you have to put in shoulder, body, you have to saw that. You have to saw. You have to saw to cut it. And it's not going to be clean. So much blood, so much blood. Oh my God. Oh my God. Especially after being shot, you know, your blood is now coagulated. It's going to squirt everywhere. There's still some form of pressure-ish, so it's going to squirt everywhere. And you have to put your body into it. This is an unbelievable crime. This is an unbelievable crime. Wow. Wow.
Police swarmed the place.
Yeah.
Drones were in the air.
Of course.
Cadavers, dogs were on the ground.
Of course.
Everyone's looking through absolutely everything they could, but it's a farm. There's a million places things could be. But one detective said, look at that in the woods. Is that a garbage can full of a tarp? It was. And I'll tell you that tarp was taken to the Wisconsin State Crime Lab eventually. Bart Halderson, Krista Halderson, their blood is all over it. Another detective said, that spot where Chandler was walking out of the woods, there's an oil barrel there, like an old fuel tank with a hole in it. That's right where the car was parked. So she peeks her head in.
Incroyable. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. What? Ooh, this is heavy. What? How did I miss this trial? I swear, look, I'm a crime junkie. Maybe I was too busy doing something. How did I miss this trial? This is heavy. This is heavier. Chandler? 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 You are MFing crazy. Okay? Catherine, you escaped. Because Catherine, you're next. You were next, Catherine. Get out of here with that. Because if this has happened to his parents because they're about to find out the truth, Catherine, you're about to find out the truth too. I mean, you can only lie so much about your job. Let me tell you a quick story, okay? A quick story. There was this employee who applied for this job, for whatever. And as I'm looking stuff, look, lawsuits are real. I'm due diligent, okay? As I'm looking stuff, I'm like, wait a effing minute. What? What is that? Pick up the phone. I call. They're like, we don't know this guy, sir. Oh, you don't? Oh, okay, interesting. All right. I call the school. Nope. We don't know anybody with that kind of degree. Nope. And I'm sitting there, and you know what? Look, I told you I'm nice. I'm not going to hurt your feelings until you really force me to. So I called him in. I said, look, I'm not giving you the job. I said, you're not being hired because half of the stuff in your resume is a lie. And by the way, I gave him tips. I said, I called every one of them. I called everybody. Tell me the truth. What's going on? What is going on? You know what he said to me? He said, nobody checks. Nobody checks. Full-blown lie. There's certain things you cannot BS your way out of this. You can't create a professional career and think you can get away with this. Because at a certain point, unless you're being nepotized, someone's going to catch it. Yeah, Catherine, you're about to find out the truth and you're about to be chopped up too with a saw. This is ridiculous.
And that's what she sees. Broken saw blades, hand saws, scissors, tree loppers, all of them tested by the state crime lab, all of them covered in human flesh and blood of Bart and Krista Halderson.
Okay, listen to me. If this is what he used to cut that leg, what is that? This is a saw. He must have spent hours. If not hours, he must have really used a lot of upper body strength to cut those off. You can maybe cut off the arms a little easier. It's like right at the shoulder joint. That's easy. Chop, 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 chop. Okay? The head, easy. Chop, 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 chop. The femur? With this? No. No. You're there for a couple hours. Oh, absolutely not. Scissors, forget it. With that little saw, you're gonna have to get in there. What? Oh, Chandler, no respect. Chandler.
The farm was searched extensively, and I'll tell you that some months later, things were even continuing to be found. Up to this fall, in October, the homeowner, the person who owns the farm, was tearing apart a barn trying to clean it. And there in a barn about 100 yards from where Bart Halderson was found, the murder weapon, behind a bunch of...
This is what he used? Oh, you see, look, I'll tell you my opinion on something, okay? I told you I'm not a good criminal. I can fight. I'm just civilized. I don't want to fight. The only way I know how to fight is through courts. I will sue you. I just won't fight you. Look, listen. What? Where did he get that gun? Guns scare me. Here's a gun. Guns scare me. And because I will press the trigger and probably shoot me. You know? What? It's too dangerous. What? And this is not even a small gun. This is a big gun. I think this is a big gun. Like, this is not even like subtle. Like, you know, I'm going to hide and hit you in the back. This is like, you're getting it. Right? Oh, the terror of those parents' eyes.
And that girlfriend, Kat, is in one room, and Chandler is in another. Chandler, and you'll see this, we'll play it, for over an hour meets with police, and again regurgitates this odd story of his parents with this missing couple in a random car, going places that no one really knew. Or Kat, in the other room, she's vomiting information to the police. Literally vomiting at times, but also vomiting information in terms of she has her phone out. She's giving them pictures. She's providing every single detail she can because she'll tell you when she testifies. She's one of these people that watches these crime shows. And she knows when someone's missing, you got to exclude the people closest to him first. And she thought, that's what we got to do. Chandler didn't have anything to do with this. I didn't have anything to do with this. We got to get to the people who did. And the first step is we got to exclude us. She didn't for a second think that Mr. Halderson had done anything wrong. She thought she was with him most of the weekend. And I'll tell you right now, Kat did nothing wrong. Kat was an unknowing, unwilling accomplice to some of this, but she did absolutely nothing wrong. And she'll tell you.
Accomplice? I don't know, that's a trigger word. You can't put accomplice and did nothing wrong in the same sentence, sir. What's his name? William Brown. You can't put that in the same sentence. It's either I'm an accomplice or I'm not. What? Why would he put that in the same sentence? What happens later with Kat? Cat, we gotta talk. Catherine. Ooh.
She liked Mr. and Mrs. Halderson. There were the normal disputes you'd have with your boyfriend or girlfriend's parents. Maybe you want to go out a lot and they don't let you. Maybe you want to hang out more than they don't want to.
Wait, who has a dispute with the parents of your boyfriend or girlfriend? Look, let me tell you something right now, okay? And I've had not significant others. I've had, love things. No, I'm not dealing with your parents. They don't want to see me. That's fine. I see you at the bar. I see you down the street. No. I'm not arguing with anybody's parents. Who argues with with a boyfriend's parents? What? I'll stare. How dare you? Oh, sorry, ma'am. Absolutely. I think you're right. I'm not fighting with anybody, especially not your parents. No. I just leave. We break up. Simple as that. What? As if it's normal. No, William Brown, it's not normal to fight with the parents of your boyfriend or girlfriend.
Kat meets with police not just once, but multiple times. And in one of these meetings, she says, you know what was weird? Is this weekend, when I was with Chandler, while his parents were at the cabin, I left the house early one day, on Saturday, in fact, Saturday, July 3rd. And she says, he told me he was going to do chores that morning around the house. But when I looked at my Snapchat, I saw his location was in a weird spot.
Damn it, this technology. Damn it, my phone is right there. What? Criminals, turn off your location. I'm just saying.
You don't know, on Snapchat, you can set it up so that other people can see exactly where you are.
Oh, you can?
A GPS tracker on you at all times, if you will.
Kids, turn that off.
Chandler had that set up with his girlfriend. And she goes, it was so weird where he was. I took a screenshot of it on my phone. And that's what it showed.
Oh, Catherine.
Chandler has saved his hubby in her phone.
Catherine is spilling the tea, honey. Catherine, I take it, Catherine, you're great. I take it back. Look, Catherine is just, vomiting information, like he said. Bleh, bleh. Like, what? Oh, Catherine, she put a picture. Catherine, why don't you take a picture of your phone? Catherine, are you spying on someone? What? Oh, honey, look, I'm the Catherine. This is why, if we're friends, I can't be friends with a criminal. Because, yes, I would be like, that's weird. Steven, that's very weird, Steven. What are you doing, Steven? Hey, guys, look what Steven is. Yeah, that's me. That's why if you don't have good morals, I'm not a good friend. Because I will call you out. I'd be like, what are you doing? Oh, Catherine. I like her. Yay, Catherine, yay. I like you, Catherine. I like you.
But she said, at 8:58 in the morning, when he was supposed to be doing chores on Saturday, July 3rd, I thought it was strange that he was in what appears to be a forest on the banks of the Wisconsin River near Prairie du Sac. The police took that. They identified immediately where that location was, just based on looking at it. That's a bridge. Couldn't be hard. Out they go. The drones go up. The dogs go out. The search team starts searching.
I love my tax dollars, okay? Yes! Put the drones up. Fly. Show me my money in action.
Very quickly.
Oh.
And I promise this is as far as the photos will go. They find the remains of Krista Halderson. Now, when I say Krista Halderson, I have to qualify that as well. We found her legs. One complete leg, then somewhat farther away in another bush, a foot, a thigh, but the same pattern.
What?
Crudely cut apart, what appears to be handsaws, axes, things of that sort.
Nope. I guarantee you use the axis because the saw is not going to cut it. A femur? It's like hitting a rock. I bet you he was like, yo, this saw is not working. Let me get the axe. The thing with the axe is you got to hit exactly at the same spot continuously. Otherwise, it's not. You don't understand how strong your bones are. Femur and tibia, no joke. It's no joke. They're hard. They're hard. Fun fact: the strongest bone of your body is your jaw. This thing. Oh yes. You punch someone. You punch someone in the right here. You might break your hand.
No more of Krista Halderson that's identifiable to her will ever be found. She's just those two legs. At this point, the police thought, this is just a strange location. Why would Chandler be out there? He'd been out there before. And they started talking to people, including girlfriends of his in the past, friends of his. And they say, yeah, Chandler really liked this location out on the Wisconsin River. He'd go there all the time. It's where he'd go swimming. When his friends came into town, that was the secret swimming spot. And one friend even said, you know what? Last year he sent me a picture while he was out there. Kind of shirtless, hanging from a tree with a machete. I don't know. Didn't have a lot of significance at the time when the police saw it, but eventually someone realized the tree looks unique. Interesting V pattern right there. The hollowness of the tree as it goes down. The way in which 5 of those branches branch off. And eventually one of the detectives realizes why. Something clicked. It was the exact location he ditched his mother's remains. That's about 100 feet away.
What? Complete lack of respect. He must have been so mad at his parents for trying to figure it out for Ooh.
So Chandler's taken to jail, and the police start searching. When I say searching, you're going to hear about searches of the house, searches of this farm, searches of this property. You're going to hear about searches of landfills and ponds and ditches all across Dane County. But one of the things they started searching was, what was this guy doing on his phone that weekend? And oddly enough, most of what they found was nothing. Either Chandler hadn't Googled anything all weekend, except for the 8th, or he had deleted his search history. You'll never know. But remember, he was arrested on July 8th, taken to the police station, and that's where they told him, hey man, we know what's going on. So meaning, while he was still on his phone on July 8th, he was still telling everyone his parents were missing. Not just the police. This kid was standing in his front lawn giving media interviews to all the local media outlets about the cabin and the unknown couple and the unknown car. He was going door to door in his neighborhood. My parents are missing. Can you help me out? Do you have any security cameras, by the way? And you'll...
Wow. Okay, I paused there because if Chandler went door to door and enjoyed having the media attention, if he seeked it, yeah, that's not a psychopath. I'm telling you, psychopaths don't give a damn. That's a full-blown scary narcissist. Scary narcissist.
Hear from these neighbors. Some of them were so weirded out by what was going on that they secretly recorded those conversations. One of them, you'll hear, was a man who'd only been retired as a detective with the City of Madison Police for about a month. He recorded his conversation with Mr. Halderson. But while he's doing this that morning, what's he Googling? This is what he's Googling. Body found, Wisconsin. Woman's body found, Wisconsin. Wisconsin dismembered body found. We'll come back to the next two. Dead body found in Wisconsin. Body found in Milwaukee River.
So Chandler was looking to see if someone found the body. So he would Google to see if someone found the location. So this is what the location of all the body parts he put in. It is. Oh, it is. What? What? People like this exist? People like this exist? Oh.
He's searching for whether they found his parents. And you'll hear in this case, he's starting to search because he's starting to get worried because the amount of police in his neighborhood has been ramping up and up and up.
Yeah, you see, yeah, again, not a psychopath. No. I told you, psychopaths don't give a damn. A psychopath won't be nervous like this. No, they'll sleep, they go to lunch, they'll be like, want to hang out? They won't be on Google Schmoogles. Not at all. Not at all. You know what, guys? I'll be honest with you. This is scary. This is scary because when you look at the picture, nice little white boy, and you look at the parents, nice family. Violent. What?
Because unbeknownst to him, they're finding his parents' remains. And you'll hear that while this is going on, while he's Googling these things, he's frantically calling police officers. Hey, why are there more cops in my neighborhood? Calls this guy, Brian Shunk. He records him. What's going on? There's more cops. Did something happen? Did you find something? The middle ones, State versus Peter Capuzzo. Probably means nothing to everyone.
Yeah.
It meant nothing to me when I first saw it. The name rung a bell, and I wondered why. Not only does it show he Googled State versus Peter Capuzzo, it showed that he clicked on a link on the Wisconsin court's website and read something. What he read was a legal case, much like this one is the State versus Chandler Halderson. The State versus Peter Capuzzo, though, was a case that made it to the Court of Appeals based on some legal technicalities.
Oh, no.
About a man who dismembered part of his family members and threw their bodies.
He is Googling how to appeal this? Oh, wow. Wow, Chandler. Wow, I'm so mad I'm late on this case, okay? This is scary, but as far as crime goes, this is good. This is really good, okay? Good. Look at that. Look at that. Already planning his appeal situation. Oh, mais merde. Incroyable.
In the river. So at the same time, Chandler Halderson is going door to door in his neighborhood, crying about his parents being missing, talking to the local news, telling sheriff's deputies, signing documents saying they're missing. He's conducting legal research to get himself out of today, so that today never happens. Now, when I started with that calendar a while ago, and I said the police were initially thrown off because of one thing, and that was this text message from Krista. And it's real. I'll tell you, that text message is in all the search warrant returns from US Cellular. It's on the phone that we were able to search. We're not able to search every phone, but some of them are. Made it safely. Can't get anything through, though. Yes, it's packed. Going to White Lake today for the parade. Be home Monday night, Tuesday. Love you lots. Sent on the 4th of July. So the police started looking into that. And the first thing they found was White Lake.
Ooh, guys, this is heavy, okay? Oh, my heart. Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me. Look at that. That is unbelievable. Chandler. For those who are new to this story, are you following so far? Is your mind baffled? Are you completely baffled? Like, are you blinking 1,000 times like I am? What? What? What did I just hear? What did we just hear? What? What? I'm glad I didn't look. I'm glad I didn't do the full research, because I wouldn't be as shocked as I am right now. I am absolutely shocked. I am beyond shocked. This is shocking. Shocked. Wow. He's cute. No, he's not. Who are these people?
The parade was on July 3rd. Remember, the 4th of July this year was on a Sunday. So everyone celebrated on Saturday.
Oh.
So they started thinking, well, how the hell did this message get sent? So they searched the Halderson home where Chandler was. And in the garage, under a shelf, in a shoe, wrapped in aluminum foil, was his mother's phone, along with her driver's license.
Oh, mothers. Not to minimize father's job in child rearing, because it's real. No, that's the work. You carry it for 9 months. You deal with the morning sickness. You eat extra food. You push it or you get cut up. You feed him. You pick up the poop. He grows up, talks back at you, gives you attitude. You put up with it. You feed it. You go to work. You're tired. You're exhausted. You can't even blink properly. Just to be completely discarded like that. Look at that. Look at that. This is a mother. Not to minimize the father, because I'm not minimizing the father. I'm a dad, please. Look at that. This is heartbreaking. I don't have anything to break, but this is heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. And what makes it even worse, okay, because if he shot the dad, I'm sure he shot the mom. Or maybe he shot the dad, the mom was like, what's that noise? Right? But forget about that. What's really heartbreaking is what the parents must have seen right before they were taken off this world. My son? My son? No, can't be my son. My son? Chandler, what are you doing? Ow! Chandler, what are you doing? Unexpected. Forget terror. It's not even terror this parents must have felt. It's a pit of disappointment that is beyond even the description. No, it's not terror, because I guarantee you they didn't think it would get to this point. It's a like it's a surprise beyond. It's an undescribable surprise.
Police would later subpoena the records from U.S. Cellular, the cell phone carrier that covers Chandler and the family. And they would look into what cell towers were being used when that message was sent. If you didn't know, all of you probably have cell phones. At any time, your phone is pinging off of different cell towers. It's not always the same. As you sit here, half of you might be using one tower and half of you might be using another. It's based on the workload of those towers. You'll hear about that. But it's generally an approximate area of where you are. That message on July 4th, Krista there's in pink, Chandler's in green. The message was sent from the Halderson home on July 4th. Chandler sent it to himself. So at this point,
Wow. I don't even know what to say. What could be going through his mind? I don't even want to find out what's been going through his mind. What?
The investigators began to wonder, and perhaps you're beginning to wonder how the evidence will come out. How does this happen? How does this kid, with everything in the world going for him, promising new jobs, school, a girlfriend that loves him, willing to move across the country for him, or even physically, a kid who just suffered this major concussion, was unable to use his legs for the most part. How does this happen? And what you'll learn, it happens because none of these things are true.
Oh,
He wasn't going to Madison College. He wasn't studying renewable resource engineering. The people at American Family Insurance, they'd never even heard of him. There's no indication he had ever even applied for a job, much less had any job at SpaceX. The apartment he told his girlfriend he'd rented and the car he'd bought, none of that was real. The Madison police, they don't even have a scuba diving team.
oh,
Neither does the DNR.
Oh.
And this concussion he apparently suffered, he did go to the hospital. You'll hear from the doctor who was there. He said, yeah, he came in, he reported that he hit his head falling down the stairs. I diagnosed him with a mild concussion.
Mild?
Gave him a neck brace on the way out, told him he could use it if he needed it.
Oh.
But none of the things that Chandler reported to other people, the leg weakness, his inability to move.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I didn't know that. I told you, I'm watching this for the first time. Yes. A mild concussion doesn't change your personality. Remember at the beginning, I was like, oh, I wonder if it changed the personality. No. For a hit your head to change your personality, you have to be hit with, you know, in the movies when they hit you with a bat, like that kind of concussion can give you a personality change. A mild concussion. This text, look, I'm telling you what time it is. It's 10:18. Okay, I don't understand why you have to message me, employee. It's 10:18. It's 10:18. Oh, anyway, what am I talking about? Yes, look at that. Let's continue.
Move, drive, travel. None of that was real. And given what you're going to find out in this case, you may conclude at the end of it, he never suffered any fall at all. What you may conclude is that it was all made up. Now, police started looking into all of these lies. Because how does a person who looks so promising, was able to convince so many people of his success, how are you able to keep this up? How are you able to catfish your family, your girlfriend, your brother, your friends? And they started to find things around the Halderson home in the email accounts of Bart and Krista Halderson, in the email accounts of Chandler Halderson. When they talk about American Family Insurance, the first big lie Chandler was making up, again, the people at American Family Insurance, you'll hear them testify, they're directors of human resources. He never worked there, never worked for any of their affiliates, never worked for any of the companies that are associated with them. Chandler had been claiming to work there for a year, but he never had any money. And his father was an accountant, so his father would ask him questions pretty much daily. Why don't you have any money? Why haven't you paid any rent? And Chandler spun an amazing web of lies. First it was, well, I'm a salary guy, but they were accidentally paying me hourly, so they just held my paychecks until they fixed it. Then it was, well, I gave them the wrong direct deposit info. Then it kind of shifted eventually. And he said, well, they were going to pay me, but now the amount is so much, they got to pay me so much money that when they deposit it in the bank, they thought it was fake. And police started to find emails like this. This from Tom Selznick, a guy at American Family Insurance, a Northeast remote human resources guy. Describing this, you're registered as salary, but you're making hourly. And these emails would go back and forth with Chandler and the HR person, and eventually he'd forward them to his father. But in the way a parent looks at their child as maybe telling the truth is not the way that you as jurors have to look at this. You, like the police, maybe have to take a more critical look at emails like this. And for one, notice, why is the guy who works at Human Resources at American Family Insurance using a Proton Mail generic email address? Why is the guy who's the Human Resources manager spelling the word resources wrong? Saying he's the Human Recourses manager.
Chandler!
It's comically fake.
Chandler!
He emailed himself back and forth, trying to explain why he didn't have any money, and he forwards it to his dad. Now here's where the story gets maybe a little more complex. Having a fake job solves a lot of riddles in your life. No one's hassling you to get a new job. No one's hassling you to do chores all day. The problem is, if your dad works from home, if he was an accountant, for instance, which he was, and which he did, you actually have to wake up early every day and go to work. So there he was. Messages between Bart and Chandler. Hey, are you up for your meetings? Yeah. Over and over again. So Chandler woke up. But he had nothing to do all day because his job was pretend. And so he sat on his computer playing video games. And I'm not against people playing video games. I'm a guy myself. People play video games. But video games, if you don't know, and some of you are of an age where you do, and some of you are an age where you don't, are a much more social thing than they used to be. When you play video games, you don't just sit on Nintendo 64 and play Mario by yourself. You're playing role-player games with people from...
I confess, I'm a gamer. Listen. I think I understand now. I think a lot of it makes a lot of sense. So, Chandler, can I call him a loser? I normally wouldn't say that, but Chandler's a loser. He didn't want to work. He didn't want to go to school. He didn't want to do anything with his life. All he wanted to do is just stay home and play video games. And you know what? His mom and dad are like, yo, Chandler, do you know how expensive you is? You know how much money used cost me? Do you understand, Chandler? No, my darling. No, you are 20. How old is he? Who cares? You're 20-something years old, okay? Go out there and get a 401k. Retirement is real, okay? I mean, they're doing everything any parent would do. Get up. Get up. Go work at McDonald's. Go pick up trash. Volunteer. Even volunteer. Go volunteer. Do something. You can't stay home and play games all day. Although I wish I could, but no, I can't. Right? Come on. Chandler was annoyed at his nagging parents. Yes, he was like, oh my God, these MFing parents. And it was a never-ending buildup of what? Of resentment. And he just snapped. And he snapped and he killed his parents because they were nagging him too much. Look, I'm halfway there. I'm halfway in, and I can already see. Oh, good job, Mr. William Brown, because I see what you're painting. I see your picture. I'm looking at it. I'm not hanging it on my wall though, but I'm looking at it. Wow.
And who's up early in the morning when Mr. Halderson had to wake up to attend his fake work meetings? People in the military who are stationed overseas. They speak English, they're American, but they're on a different time schedule. They're on his time schedule. Most people here probably play video games at night during weekdays. But every day, Mr. Halderson was able to wake up and find a group of friends to play video games with online, one of which was stationed in Germany. This friend was a guy named Andrew Smith. Now, Mr. Smith, Mr. Halderson, became kind of best friends. They would talk all the time. They communicated in this video game all the time. And Mr. Smith, he'll testify, he's coming up here, lives down south, he's back in the US. He'll tell you that Chandler really liked an SKS rifle when they'd play some of these shooting games. It was just something he liked. Not a big deal, there's nothing wrong with that. But this past summer, about a month before the murders of Bart and Krista Halderson, this online friend, Andrew Smith, comes to visit Mr. Halderson and in fact stays at the home with Bart and Krista. This is a picture of Mr. Smith in that perhaps crudely designed yellow shirt. That's Mr. Halderson. It's the only photo we have of them on that visit. You'll learn that Mr. Smith had gotten out of the military. He was done with it. But you also learn that he really likes guns. Like, he really likes guns. And he knew his friend liked SKS rifles, So when he visited him this year in June, he brought with him a gift, the SKS rifle that was found about 100 yards from Bart Halderson's body.
Wait, you could travel from Germany with a gun? Can someone educate me in the comments? Because I thought it's one thing to take a gun across state lines, but internationally, what? Look at me learning stuff. I had no idea you could take a gun from over there, fly in the airplane, and bring it over here. By the way, look, I'm just pointing it out, right? Look at Chandler. Look how Chandler is holding the German officer by his waist, and he's grabbing it like, And by the way, look, I'm a gamer. I am not flying to see you. I mean, I have gamer friends. I'm not getting the airplane to see you. What? Is there something going on between those two? I'm just saying. Look how he's holding him. Oh, darling, come here, darling. Come here, baby. Yeah. Look at that. Look at that. Like, I'm not judging. I'm just observing. What? I'm not judging. I'm just observing. I'm looking, and it's like, that's way too close. I don't even hold on to my gay friends like that. Do I? I don't. No. I mean, we get close, but I don't hold your waist like that. And it's a firm hold, like it's a grab, okay? Hand in the pocket, grab it. Oh my God. Chandler, you murderer. This is unbelievable. Unbelievable. I gotta give you that prosecutions. Let me tell you something. These professionals, oh, you don't play with them, okay? What? Look how well they put that stuff together. I'm sold. I know the jury is not supposed to see this as evidence. Look, I was a jury for a murder trial once. I was kicked out like that. I told you, I'm not a good accomplice. They were like, get out, sir. I got out. But this opening statement, to hell with you, judge. Judge is like, don't take that as evidence. I'd be like, evidence? I believe you. Prosecution, guilty. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Look how well put that is. I don't know how the defense gonna handle this, but honey, you're hired. You are hired, William Brown. Hired.
So in late June, as he's supposed to start the job at SpaceX in Florida for Elon Musk, something happens in the Halderson family. Something real. There's a change. Remember when I started off and I said there were two sons? His older brother gets hospitalized. That's real. It happened. Got diagnosed with diabetes and was having some complications. He's doing great now. Mr. Halderson uses that as an excuse to delay starting at SpaceX. It was a stroke of good luck for him, a stroke of bad luck, of course, for the family, but a stroke of good luck for him. But that only gave him a couple of weeks. So his brother, who's doing really well in life, engaged, house, real job, making a lot of money, suddenly he's in the hospital, being doted over by his family, by his mother. People care about him. So roughly a week later, when Chandler Halderson needs to think of a new lie to get out of the SpaceX lie, guess who ends up in the hospital? Being doted over by his mother and his family with a supposed neck injury. This is Father's Day of this year, in late June.
Ooh, this case is fire. I cannot believe I missed this. I cannot believe. Where was I? January of 2022. Where was I? Probably working. Wow. Oh, look at that. Look at the brother. Look at the hardworking dad. Look at this family. Look at that hardworking, paying taxes, working hard to bring their two kids, from this toddler stage up to the world. Come on, kids, fly, 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 fly. Look at that. The dad is like working extra. Oh, parents, you know how hard it is to raise those darn kids. Just to be treated like this. Look at that. A proud dad. Despite the shortcomings of his son, he could tell he loves him. Okay? Working to provide for his family. Working to provide for his sons so they can have the best. Chandler? No, Chandler is a narcissist on steroids. Steroids. I have never met... Oh, of course I haven't. This is a narcissist on a different level. Conniving. Deceitful. Deceiving. Deceitful. Oh God, that was bad. Okay, let's continue.
Now, around this time, Chandler started telling people an extraordinarily bizarre set of claims. That he had a brain bleed, a hematoma, that he had spinal damage, that he needed his head drilled open, that he inability to use his legs at all. Couldn't drive. People had to do that for him. That he had nerve damage, that he needed to get a colostomy bag. But most importantly, he couldn't go to Florida.
Boy. Come on, guys. Are you blinking? People who haven't seen this story, are you blinking like me? Look. What? Listen. A brain bleed. You know what that is? A hematoma. Okay, that's sort of normal-ish. Spinal damage. You know what that is? Head drilled open. Inability to use legs. Like, out of all of this here, only two things are like not so bad. The inability to fly on the airplane and the hematoma. Those two, sure. Everything else are major. Colostomy bag? Major. Forget all that. Brain bleed alone puts you in a category of astronomical situation when it comes to health. Forget everything else. Once you say brain bleed, all hands on deck, okay? You don't even need to add anything else. Brain bleed, oh, don't worry, darling. Have a seat, we'll take care of you. Haven't we seen this before, guys? We have. All of this nonsense is gathering sympathy. I mean, I can speculate because the William Brown didn't want to spend too much time telling people where he got all of those sympathy brownie points, right? I'm sure it's through text messages, talking to friends and stuff. But I can guarantee that Chandler was requesting or asking something out of someone. So therefore, he spun the story, and you're like, I got a brain bleed, I need help. I have a hematoma, I can't lift a finger. I have spinal damage, I need help sitting down, right? I can guarantee it. All of that, gathering sympathy. This is beyond, look, to those who don't know, narcissism is a severe self-esteem disorder. This is someone who is looking for validation anywhere he can get. He doesn't feel good about himself, whatever it may be. He doesn't feel good about himself. Forget about the fact that he has no job as a loser. It's even deeper than that. He doesn't feel good about the way he looks. He doesn't feel good about who he is. He doesn't feel good about anything at all. And he is completely being eaten alive by jealousy at the fact that his older brother, Mitchell, is doing so much better than him. Yeah, my older brother got a job that he likes, married, bought a house. He's gonna be so happy and look at me. I'm sitting here at home. I don't know what to do with myself. Woo, 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 woo. Yeah. It's eating away at this already fragile self-esteem to the point where he is not even thinking straight. This is, I believe, like a narcissism combined with some sort of depressiveness, because at any point in time during the action of the crime, there was not even a moment of empathy. Not even like, Mom. Nope. Even when the mom is dead and chopped up. Nope. Took her phone, dialed the number, sent it to himself. The entire point, from start to finish, Chandler didn't have a moment of self-reflection when he just blinked and be like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, they're dead, oh my God. Not once. Not once.
So suddenly this man, who was, for all intents and purposes, disabled, was being doted over by his family. People were making him meals. You'll see notes his mom was leaving for him. Call this neighbor if you need anything. She'll help you out. Couldn't drive, couldn't work, couldn't do chores. Now, a bit of a preview and a fast forward. This guy who's wearing a neck brace nearly every day in late June 2021 would have no problem just days later carrying large bags of ice out of gas stations to chill his father's cut-up body in a freezer. And you'll note, no neck brace. And in fact, you'll note in this case, Chandler Halderson is never seen in that neck brace again after July 1st, 2021, when he kills his parents. So the job lies are over for Chandler in his life. American Family Insurance, don't worry about that because he got this new job at SpaceX. In SpaceX, I can't go because I'm hurt. It was a perfect scenario. But there was one last lie that Chandler had to get out of. And that is he had told everyone he was going to MATC for college and that he was about to graduate. And you'll hear there's a hint of truth to that he was going there at one point. In fact, there's a hint of truth to all of these lies. He did go to MATC for like a semester. He failed out. But he wasn't going there anymore. And the parents were starting to grow suspicious. And
So keep in mind, right, the prosecutor said there was some hint of truth. Again, like I mentioned with the Darrell Brook case, what narcissists do, they take bits and fragments of facts and they spin stories around it. It gives them an ammunition, an anchor point of where to start going and spinning. Oh, wow, this is heavy. This is heavy. This is heavy.
Bart Halderson's desk. Bart Halderson was one of these guys who prints his emails. I don't know if any of you print your emails, but some people, they get an email and they print it out.
Do you do that? I've never done that. What? What a waste of paper, waste of trees. Come on, can we be greener? Print the emails. What? If I print the email, it's literally, whoop. Wait, what did you send me? No. What? Who prints emails? Print. Oh, thanks.
That was Bart. And we find one. It's an email between Bart and Krista, detailing a conversation that he had had with Chandler's advisors at MATC. He was supposed to meet with someone else, so we met with this guy, Daniel Spieth. Chandler's going to get a solar certificate. He wasn't. He's registered for fall classes. He wasn't. He's in the IT program. He wasn't. All of these things, line by line, none of them true. But Bart Halderson talked to this person. So police honed in on something. That line. When I talked to the advisor, he sounds just like Chaz on the phone. And he gives this number. That is, of course, because Bart Halderson, when he talked to Chandler's college advisor, was just talking to Chandler.
No.
Who had bought a burner phone.
Shut up. Shut up. What? What? No. The balls. Chandler, you got balls, okay? What? What? And in front of his own parents, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, would you not recognize your own kid's voice if they ever talk to you? Yes. The audacity of your kid to pretend like it's somebody else as if you would not recognize. I know, right? What? Chandler, you are bold, okay? What? Look, also, I love how mom and dad is emailing each other, right? Look, you can clearly tell mom and dad are from a different era. What? Who emails their spouse about something? Look. What? I'm going to try that next time with Chris and be like, hello? No, I don't have time to text you. I'm calling you, and you better pick up. Look, Chandler, I heard yeah, Chandler did this and did that. I know, right? Isn't that ridiculous? I know. And you know what's funny? The counselor sounds just like him. Does he really? Yeah. Who emails their spouse for stuff about the kids? Unless it's, wow, look at that. And his bullet points, detailed, organized. Wow, I'm impressed. Bart and Krista. You know what? Chandler, your parents may have had an inclination of your lies. That's why they put it in writing. Maybe the parents had an inclination that their son lies a lot. That's why they put it in writing. I've said it. What? In no normal circumstance did you email your spouse about, did you pick up the milk yesterday? Enter, send. No, I'll call you. You better pick up. If you don't pick up, I leave a voicemail. It's my spouse. It's my spouse. Who has time to type all that? Who has time to type all that? Look at that. Look the length of this letter. And it's lunch. I'm eating. I gotta go back to work. I'm full. No, I want to relax and talk. Wow, but that's not even the story. The big story here is that Chandler is pretending to be somebody else in front of his mom and dad. Oh, Chandler.
Cheap phone from like Walgreens that you can buy with no service carrier. And police know that because they searched Chandler's bedroom. And in his desk drawer, they found that phone. Now, this kept going. The lie about going to MATC or Madison College was the most extensive. There were emails, dozens, if not hundreds of emails going back and forth between supposed advisors at MATC and Chandler, and then he'd forward them to his dad from people like someone named Alyssa Brandt, 64. Sometimes Chandler would spell Brandt, B-R-A-N-D-T, sometimes just with a T and no D, depended on the day. But they all had the @Gmail address, not @madisoncollege.edu. And you'll hear from the people at Madison College. Their people have real emails. They don't use Gmail. But it was over and over again. Alyssa Brandt was one of them. You heard about Daniel Spieth, also @Gmail. There was someone named Aaron Hoover, also @Gmail. In this one, Chandler's getting upset. I have to have a call with whomever's in charge within the next 30 minutes. I have been a student for over 3 years, and I will be treated fairly. Of course, he's yelling at himself. All of these were fake. Back and forth to himself, and eventually to his dad. The Halderson parents had to have been growing extraordinarily frustrated. Kid wasn't getting paid.
Frustrated? Look, my daughter's name is Olympia. Look, I'm a nice parent. I'm a nice guy. I told you I'm a nice guy. Olympia, if you ever do this to me, you're off. Your name is off the inheritance list. Get out of here. Get out. Boom. Figure yourself out. What? 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 Oh, hell no. Poor parents. You could see they were trying. You could see they were really trying to be like, come on, son. The world is yours. Fly, fly. You could tell. They were so worried about their kid. Come on, son, you could do it. Fly. They were encouraging him in their own way. But no, it was clear they were encouraging him. They were even like, Chandler, you're evil beyond evil.
He's injured suddenly. His college transcripts aren't coming through, so he can't get a job. So police looked at that original note again. They saw something interesting, which is in this sea of fake people, Daniel Spieth, Aaron Hoover, Tom Selznick, Alyssa Brandt, there was one name that stood out, Omar Job. And that name didn't stand out because it was fake. It stood out to the police because it was real. That is the only real person on any of these emails. And what we've discovered in this investigation is in just the day and a half prior to being murdered, Bart Halderson, Chandler's dad, called MATC and pretended to be Chandler to try to finally get some information on what's going on. Just as any of you could call any doctor and pretend to be your kid, you know their name, their social security number, their birthday, you can get through. You can get through those minor security things. Bart called MATC, said, I'm Chandler, and I want some answers. And for 17 minutes, Bart Halderson, just before his murder, talked to a man named Omar Job. Omar Job is a entry-level customer service guy at MATC. He's got no skin in the game, doesn't even really remember the call, but it was recorded for customer service purposes. And Bart Halderson questions Omar, and he's very mean at first, because in his mind, he'd been getting screwed around for a year on where his son's transcripts were and what degree program he was in and why he hasn't graduated yet. But toward the end of the call, Bart asked Omar Job, hey, do any of these people work there? Alyssa Brandt, Daniel Spieth, Aaron Hoover. And he's told no, they've never worked there. And in fact, they haven't. And he says, that'll be it then.
The father discovered Chandler's lie by being Chandler, by doing what Chandler did to him, pretending to be Chandler. I told you guys, right? In every narcissist story, there's always a little crumb of truth. You just have to pay attention and listen closely and double check everything. Wow.
That'll be it then, are the last recorded words of Bart Halderson alive.
Oh, last words?
Bart Halderson, shortly after that, sends a text message. A text message that ultimately sealed his fate, which was a text to his own son. And it says, I spoke with Omar Job. Now, what happens over the next 24 or so hours is a bit unknown. Homicide investigations are a lot of unknowns because the two people who are the victims, who maybe know the most about what happened, are of course dead. But there's not much verifiable information that happens over the next 24 hours. It's also unknown if Chandler even knew who Omar Job was. Of course, he wasn't going to MATC, so why would he know who some lowly entry-level customer service guy was? He wouldn't. But Bart Halderson did. And when you look at Bart Halderson's work calendar, that he maintains at his accounting firm, you see something quite interesting. Remember at the beginning, I said I wanted you to remember a date and a time, which was that the Haldersons were killed between 3 and 5 p.m. on July 1st, 2021. Guess what was on Bart's calendar at that exact time? He was supposed to have a meeting with the people at MATC with his son. So he's supposed to go to MATC and have this meeting at 3 o'clock on July 1st, 2021.
I'm dead.
Of course, that meeting couldn't happen because he wasn't going there, and none of the people were real. But Bart Halderson knew that.
Bart, you went in as any father would. Guys, didn't I say this? A narcissist with Daddy Bailiff and Daryl Brooks, you expose their lies, they will react. They will react. Narcissists are not known to not do anything. You show the truth and the lights, they will react. And most of the time, it's violent. It's violence most of the time. Look at that. Look at that. Bart, I had to look up his name. Bart not only took the flashlight on the lies of Chandler, he flashed the sun. He took the sun right in Chandler's face and said, are we going to the school, okay? And we're going to have a conversation with the people over there, okay? Yeah, yes, yes, going to the school. And Chandler is like, what? Chandler was the one blinking like 1,000 times. And as a narcissist, as a true narcissist, he reacted. Not with flowers, not with kisses, not with more stories. He reacted impulsively, violently. That's what he did. Bart was like, I'm going to checkmate you today, son. And you know what? I'm going to continue this, but I bet you Bart sent an email to his wife, Krista. Krista, I figured out about Omar Joe. Yep. And we're going to go on July 1st, between 3 and 5 p.m. We're going to go to the school together and figure this out. Send. And she replied probably, okay, darling, absolutely. I think you're amazing, and I think we should get to the bottom of this. See you later for dinner? Absolutely. Send. Guarantee it. Okay, I think. Let's see.
Bart Halderson knew that. And so Chandler had obviously figured that out at this point. There was no way out of this one.
Nope.
You can't get out of this lie.
Nope.
And so the next day, Chandler Halderson wakes up on July 1st and starts messaging his girlfriend. 7:26, I hardly slept. 7:27, stuff hasn't been going well for me lately. Just trying to plan for the next thing to over. 7:51, I had a great future planned. It's falling apart. 1:04, just 2 hours prior to the murders. I overheard they might go to the cabin with their friends, but I don't know. So somewhat of a full circle at this point. That's the moment Chandler Halderson decides to kill his parents.
Yes, that's the moment he decides. At 1 p.m., he's like, okay, I know exactly what I'm going to do. Yes. Man, look at that. What? And I'm not supposed to take this as evidence? As a jury, I'm like, oh no, I'm taking notes. This guy is guilty 100%. What? This is so well put together. I don't know how. Chandler, I cannot wait to get to the defense opening statement. How are you going to get out of this? How are you going to get out of this? How are you going to get out of this? How are you going to get out of this? How are you going to get out of this? How are you going to get out of this, Chandler? How are you going to get out of this? Look at that. Look at that. Look at that mountain of stuff. That's insane. That's insane. And you know what? You could tell right away that at 1 p.m. it's exactly when he decided to die. Oh man, Mr. William Brown, you did a great job with this presentation. You are hired. You understand? Hired with a raise.
Bart texts Chandler, I'm ready whenever you are. That's about 50 minutes prior to when he was killed. Those are the last words ever recorded of Bart Halderson. His phone is never used, really. Again, he dies at some point. He never goes back to work. No one ever sees him. The neighborhood he lives in, riddled with security cameras, never see him again. I'm ready whenever you are. What the evidence will show in this case is that sometime after the I'm ready whenever you are message, and probably just around 3 o'clock when he was supposed to go to this meeting with MATC, Bart Halderson was shot in the back multiple times with a high-powered rifle. And after shooting his dad, Chandler texts his mom, Dad's phone died. Text or call me. And get sewed on your way home. I have an extra hour of work. You know he didn't have an extra hour of work, but he was delaying her getting there because the evidence will show he needed to move things around, prepare for what he was about to do when she showed up. She responds, K, I can, smiley face. Those are the last words of Krista Halderson alive. Shortly thereafter, around just after 5, neighborhood security cameras, the Haldersons didn't have one, but the neighborhood, a lot of people did, show Krista pulling in, getting out of the car, walking in. She's never seen again until her legs are found out by the Wisconsin River. But just after killing his mom and his dad, the evidence in this case will show that Chandler went on his phone. If you go on your phone, I don't know if any of you have ever taken a note. You can take notes on your phone. iPhone has an app called Notes. We got some raw data, and I'll put it up here in a second. I won't put the raw data because it's a bit challenging to see. But Chandler creates a note about 5:11 that day on July 1st, probably minutes after killing his parents. And the note reads, weekend chores, H2O2 lemon. H2O2 is the chemical name for hydrogen peroxide. You'll hear from people in this case, it's essentially a household cleaner to clean up blood. Lemon, it deodorizes things. Mixed together, it's a pretty cheap cleaning product you can have at home. So Chandler writes a note after murdering his parents. H2O2 lemon. Door handles. Move your shit upstairs. Get a job. And clean the floor. He then does just that.
Yeah, get a job? Chandler, get a job? Chandler, you should have, number one, that should be number one, okay? Number two, that should be before you murder your parents. Get a job. Audacity. Oh, these people, not only are they criminals, but they're so audacious. Attitude. Criminals with attitude. Can you believe this? Oh, we've seen that before. Unbelievable. A level of pompous that is out of this world. Literally, he believes he is God's gift to the world. Look at that. He just killed both of his parents, flicks his hair, and doesn't give a damn. Look at that. Look at that. What?
Spends the afternoon cleaning the house, eventually jumps in the shower. We know he's in the shower because his girlfriend and him FaceTime when they're in the shower. No judgment, but that's what happened, and the girlfriend took a screenshot.
He said no judgment. What? People do that? FaceTime while you're in the shower? How does that work? So because, phones are waterproof, I guess. Oh, you're right, my phone is waterproof. I guess I could do that in the shower. What? Look. What? Kids? Really?
We know he's in the shower. They say they're good nights, and Chandler says, I'm going to bed. But he doesn't. He goes to gas stations. He's carrying out large bags of ice. Because what Chandler had done that night is what you all probably suspect by now. He had dismembered his parents, or at least started the process, and had to fit them inside of freezers that were in the Halderson home. And you'll see some of these freezers, they're cleaned, but there's still some evidence around. That night, I'm not going to show many photographs for a little bit, just because I think you deserve to kind of be eased into some of the things you're going to see. That night, what appears to have happened, what the evidence will show, is Mr. Halderson took items from around the house and began cutting apart his parents. Saw blades covered in Bart and Krista's blood. An axe, Bart and Krista's blood. Handsaws, things of that sort, covered in Bart and Krista's blood.
And I could tell you right now, the reason why he used all these tools, it's hard to cut up a human body. It's hard. You think it's easy? It's hard. Mother Nature didn't make us that weak, okay? To cut off a bone, oh no, darling, you need an electric handsaw. Wait, I'm not giving you ideas, criminals. Close your ears, close your ears, close your ears, close your ears.
Cleaned the house as best he could, and you'll hear about that. But still, blood spatter found of Bart and Krista's blood around the house. And he had a plan. It wasn't a well thought out plan, but he had one.
Of course.
And that was he was going to burn the remains in the family fireplace there in the house. So it's July 1st. And if any of you remember, 4th of July weekend's pretty hot this year. People in the neighborhood thought it was a little bit weird.
Who's having the fire?
Yeah. Someone's fireplace was going on. They smelled stuff. One person, this neighborhood's full of retired cops, but one retired cop.
I didn't know that. Oh, so Chandler's doing the crime in the middle of all the cops? Oh, Chandler, you are bold.
Said, I smelled like a barbecue, smelled like a pig roast. And he said that just not knowing what it was at the time, talking to the police. And that night, a neighbor who had a security camera behind the Halderson home, way far away.
By the way, those cameras, look, if you don't have cameras, you better get yourself some. You better get yourself some. Camera all your house, all around. And make sure you put a sign on it. Boom, boom, and boom. I'm watching you. Cameras are the new ish. If you don't have cameras for Christmas and New Year's, get some. Parameter your house and make sure you tell the criminals in there, like, you come in here, you have to work for this kill. You're gonna have to work for it. I'm not free kill. You have to work for it.
Was able to catch something. Because it was pitch black at night, it was able to catch just a little glimpse of all the windows in the Halderson house. We have an expert that's going to come in who works with video and light analysis. And he's going to tell you, he was able to figure out which window that was. And the window it was that he was looking at in that camera footage that kind of just piqued his attention was the window by the fireplace.
Oh my God.
And for many hours over the course of that night, the light flickered, came on, died down, on, down. But in the early morning hours of the next day, he'd been up all night doing this. Because you'll learn, you really can't burn human remains. Your home fireplace is not going to get hot enough to do that.
Yes, by the way, yes, you need a crematorium to completely incinerate someone. Oh, please, criminals, you don't have the tools to be good criminals anyway. You don't understand. Your human body is hard to get rid of it. It's hard to get rid of us. Huh? Okay.
Takes an extraordinary amount of heat. If you go to like a crematorium, you're inducing it with oxygen, chemicals, not a residential fireplace. But eventually in the middle of the night, the fire started going well. It appeared that air was being pumped into it, and you'll see when they searched the Halderson home, there was in fact a fan found right next to the fireplace, next to a tape measure, trying to make sure the remains were the right size as they went in the fireplace. But that light at one point grew and grew and grew, and it got very bright in one room. And then all of a sudden the kitchen light came on, and then all the lights went out. I don't know if anyone's ever taken a hot Pyrex pan out of the stove and put water in it, or dumped hot water on your windshield on your car in the winter, but it explodes the glass. The evidence in this case will show that what happened was the fire had gotten out of control, burning these human remains. Human fat was rendering out. It was igniting. So Chandler threw water on it. But when you throw water on your residential fireplace, you break the glass. And that's exactly what happened. Just above that broken glass panel, which is clearly shattered, you see the paint kind of bubbled off from the heat. This is in the search of the home some week later. Fireplace is clearly used. The police noticed something interesting about this photograph, which is, despite being clearly used, the logs are rebuilt. Someone had cleaned out all the ashes and rebuilt it.
Chandler worked. You see, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. Chandler was dedicated. Do you understand? He was dedicated to his craft to make sure nobody saw anything. Okay? Oh, Chandler. This case is heavy. Are you exhausted? I'm getting pretty exhausted. This is heavy. Where was I in January? What was I doing? Probably working.
Newspaper, one burnt piece in the middle. But what stuck out to police right away was that little rock right there.
Bone.
They thought, what is that?
Bone.
You'll hear from the people who collected this evidence. You'll hear from an arson specialist from the Department of Justice, a guy named Bill Boswell, who come in. You'll hear from a forensic anthropologist, a doctor named Cristina Figueroa Soto, who will tell you, we were all interested in what that was because it was out of place.
Bone.
So they pulled it off and they put it on one of these fancy police deals.
Bone.
And the forensic anthropologist took one look at it. And she said, oh, this is a human skull. He had burned his parents' heads in that fireplace. Later.
MF? What? 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 Okay, to me and you as strangers looking at this mess, maybe, it's fine. Close your eyes, the parents' head in the fireplace, sure. But in real life, okay. Hi, Mom. Hi. Oh, okay. What? Ooh, Chandler. Oh, come on, Chandler. Come on. Incroyable. Incroyable. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. This is on another level. Do you understand? This is another level. And what's even crazier about this is that when you look at this stupid Chandler, he looks like a nice guy. Looks okay. And like, I don't know, okay to be around. What? What's her name? Catherine. You escaped. You escaped, darling. What?
The police would go through the ash trap of that fireplace, and they would find human remains, facial bones, the knee bones, which, because we found Krista's legs, by deduction, had to be Bart, all in the ash trap of that fireplace. They were all cataloged. Now, burnt remains can't be tested for DNA. There's no biological material left, but they're able to tell it's human based on the structure of the bone. And you'll hear from the anthropologist who will talk about that. So that's what happened on July 1st. Now you're going to hear about all of those days in between Bart and Krista dying at 3 o'clock on the 1st, all the way through the police report. But to summarize, Chandler stayed up all night that night of the 1st. Obviously, things weren't going well, burning his parents' remains. So the next day, perhaps not having slept, he walked into Fleet Farm at 7:21 a.m. to buy a tarp. He's on video. He knew his girlfriend was spending the night that night, so he spent the whole day cleaning. But he's sending her text messages, which you will see throughout the day, asking her to bring him hydrogen peroxide and a mop, because he still needed to clean up. The next day, Saturday, July 3rd, 2021, his girlfriend leaves early in the morning. That's the day she snaps that picture of him out by the Wisconsin River dumping off his mom's remains. He spends the rest of the day hanging out. But when he goes home and says he's going to bed that night, this young man who supposedly couldn't drive or carry heavy objects, his phone records show that he's up near the Wisconsin River in Portage. As if you're driving the interstate up to the Dells, right when you cross the Wisconsin River, off in the state land there to the right. For about an hour, in the middle of the night, the police tried to search that area. It was impossible with the currents. Whatever remains were thrown in there are lost forever. July 4th, 2021, this is the day he texts himself. Spends the day with his girlfriend's family, goes to their farm to use the pool. That's the day he says, hey, can I come back tomorrow? Goes to some fireworks. He's living a normal life. No mention of his parents. The next day, takes out the garbage in the morning. Who knows what was in that garbage can? We've thoroughly searched the landfills, but it's impossible to find anything. But he took out the garbage. He goes out to the farm to supposedly use the pool, where he's seen walking out of the woods. Cell phone tower records prove that he was out there on the farm. Remember, I told you he told that person that he was having trouble at work and school and having a bad doctor's appointment. He never went to any doctor's appointment that day. Phone records show he never talked to any doctor. It was all a ruse to be able to go out in the woods and hide his father's body. The next day, not much happens, because Chandler was up all night. Again, that light analysis shows all night, the garage light on and off. The garage, of course, being where we found some of these tools, the axe covered in blood. He's cleaning up. At 4:30 in the morning, for no apparent reason, he drives around the city of Madison. There's no idea what he did there. But he's not doing much. But people begin questioning him about his parents.
Of course.
He just says they're late. The person most worried, perhaps, is his girlfriend. She thought that was unlike them. The next day, he drives back to the farm, throws a bag of bloody rags into their garbage can that's out by the street. And at 11:22, he texts his girlfriend that he's finally going to the police. We know that.
Look, he's doing, because Chandler's tired, okay? He was up all night. He's like, rag. Like, he's too tired to even care at this moment what the hell he's doing. That's why he's making all these mishaps. If you want any lesson of how hard it is to be an effective criminal, all you criminals out there, listen to me very, very, very closely. Very closely. Oui. Listen to me. You can't get away. You cannot get away. Pointless. Go to the gym. Go for a run. Take a deep breath. And have a cigarette. Do something else. You're not going to get away with it.
Bag of rags came from his house because they were in the Target bag his girlfriend picked up from Target, and she did the curbside pickup. So her name was printed on the outside. It was when she brought him hydrogen peroxide. He filled the bag with bloody rags and left it at the house. The next day, he starts Googling body found, Wisconsin dismembered body found. He's walking door to door asking about security cameras in his neighborhood. And at 4 p.m., they take him downtown and they arrest him at 6:41. So that's the story.
What? Unbelievable. This was absolutely unbelievable. This was an interesting start to this saga that we're going to do. It's not going to be quite a follow-up where we're going to try to catch up from. I was absolutely mesmerized at the fact that this criminal just didn't give a damn about the integrity of his parents, about the effort put in by his parents. Again, it was all about him. It was all about his stories. It was all about what he needed you to see. It was all about his image. This is classic narcissism at its masterfulest. And the moment his father decided to show the truth to his face, he killed them. And to be quite honest, I'm pretty sure he didn't want to kill the mom, but he had to. Like, mom, dad's not around. Where's daddy? Yeah. And you know what? Thank God that brother of his doesn't live at home. Thank God Mitchell doesn't live at home because he was going to be next. And the girlfriend? Catherine, you have no idea what you escaped. Because the moment you would have had an inclination of the truth, you could have disappeared as well. Oh my God, where was I during this case? Probably working. Oh my God. Okay, look, here's how this is going to work moving forward. So it's important for us to understand what is this about? A summary of what is this about, which we got the summary. The next video, which is going to be released on Friday, we are going to tackle and understand all the nuances. I want to see Chandler's body language. I want to see it. I want to see him during the interrogation. I want to see him during anything where he's at. I want to see him move. I want to see him interact. We're going to dissect that. That's next on this Friday. I'm telling you, I wish I was on this case a lot sooner, but this is absolutely unbelievable. The nerve. He took the phone pretending like it's him. Unbelievable confidence, don't you think so? Oh, wait, no, because just like this lunatic, Chandler believes that everything he does is masterful. Chandler, you weren't even good at that. Oh, man. All right, let me tell you a story. Okay, so this story is related to what Chandler, Web of Lies. And I have a personal experience with that. Not me, please. I'm a horrible liar. You could tell when I'm lying from a mile away. Listen. So, being from Africa originally, here in the US, you know, at the beginning you don't speak English, right? Blah, 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 blah. So there's a lot of community pockets here in the US. You have the French community, African community, etc. And moms, like the family, you know, we were part of the African community. And among the African community, you know, people invite you to parties and stuff. And so this family, which happened to be very close to us, invited us to the graduation party of one of their sons. I think it was the eldest son. Okay. So we go to the party. We show up. I didn't want to go. What? That's boring. I don't know the guy. What am I going there for? Who are you? What's going on? I was young. Like, what's happening? Why am I here? Mom, I didn't want to go. But I had to go because, you know, when an African mother tells you, you go. Oh, you go. or else. So I'm going, and I am annoyed. So I'm going, I don't know anybody. So I'm sitting in the corner eating food, and people are just being people. So the guy in question comes down the stairs like a little princess. Woo, congratulations. And, you know, in Africa, we do the, la, 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 you know, like everybody, la, 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 la. Everybody is like dancing and happy, congratulating. And you know why? Because his parents are not wealthy. His parents spent all this money to send him to school in America to graduate. Okay? His parents are regular people. Regular people in Africa is not regular people here in the US, okay? Look, tax dollars are heavy. America is rich. Do you understand? So regular America, regular Africa is two different things. Anyway, so, you know, enjoy the party. Everything's great. People are cheering. And he is living. He is luxuriating in the attention, okay? He's like, thanks. Thank you. Oh, thanks. I know, it was so hard. Oh, I got my degree. Oh, I'm so proud. Your parents must be so proud. I know. My mom and dad are so proud. This buffoon. This is what this buffoon did. Okay? Okay? He didn't graduate. He did this. He pulled the same thing as Chandler did. For 4 years, parents sweating night and day, sending money back over here from Africa to America with all this fees accumulated with that. He would just party all day, all night. And he just thought that his parents would not show up. What? At the party, it was a surprise at the party. Mom and dad are here. Hello, son. He crumbled in tears. So you might think, oh, he's happy. Look, I was a young kid, still in high school, who didn't give a damn. I was like, oh, so loud in here. Why is he crying? I didn't want to be there. So I'm sitting there, and I look at this grown-ass man crying in front of his parents, and I'm sitting there like, he's crying hard. Okay, that's very emotional. The next day was graduation day. Okay? So everybody at that party is, including me, because my mom is like, come on. I'm like, okay, mom. So I'm going to this graduation thing at the school. Sit down. They call everybody's name, right? But not his name. And, you know, I'm young and I really don't care. And there was no cell phone at the time like that. So I really had to entertain myself looking at the sky, the floor, checking out the cuties. Right? No, look. Oh, college. Some good-looking people in college, okay? Some good-looking people. Human beings are so hot. Human beings are good-looking. That's it. I mean, that's not the story, but, you know, I was too busy being a young man with hormones. So, okay, so look. So, because I didn't care about this graduation, but my attention was perked up. The moment, the graduation was over, and I'm like, Mom, is it over? What? But did it, wait, but, and then it became very interesting because I was like, oh, he lied. I don't see his name. Oh, because they give you a piece of paper right for graduation. I'm a young kid. I didn't give a crap about that. So I didn't read it. And then when I realized they didn't call him, I opened the thing and I'm like, I don't see his name. And then the party became really fun because then his mom was there, his father was there, and they were wondering like, what's going on? What's happening? Why is there where's my son? Must be a typo. It must be a typo. Where's my son? I don't see him. What's going on? What's happening? Right? What do you think those parents did? Oh, please, these are African people, okay? You know what they did? They got up, they walked their asses over there to the podium. Where's my son? Where's my son? Where's my son? Where's my son? Where's his name? Where's my son? Oh, please, do you think... Look, and again, this is to show you Chandler, why, like Bart, his father, Chandler's father. Yes, he's going to get to the bottom of this. Those two parents went to the bottom of this. They took the airplane, they flew across the ocean and landed safely in America. A land of the free for them. An escape ticket for their son. Fly, kids, fly. Just to be bamboozled Where was the son, you might ask? He was not around. He was disappeared. He was gone, disappeared. And I'm sitting there staring at nice butts. Okay, I can say that. Come on. I'm a young teenager with hormones. Of course I'm looking at booties. So I'm sitting there like checking out the Scottish people because I'm like, wow. And these grown-ups are like, what's going on? What's happening? Oh my God. And my mom, of course, Africans. Well, yeah. And everybody was just looking at us. That's the story. He was never found. And then, of course, our families went home and it was a big talk between the community. And I never bothered to ask what happened with that question. But I remember that story very well because I didn't want to be there. But it got interesting when it was time to go home. What school was it? Hofstra University. That's what it was. Oops. Look. Oh God. My gimbal died. And bye. Look. Whoop. Oh my God. What's happening? You know what? Goodbye.